back with another underrated movie review. It's been a little while since I've done some underrated movie reviews. I've been away for a while and this is a new episode. New format. A new title. No longer is this called Underrated Movies with Matt Cleathermus. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's called Underrated Movie Punk. That's right. I got that fuck you attitude and a fuck it all because there's some movies that I just feel are criminally underrated and I'm here to do them justice. That's right. I might be a motherfucker, but you know what? Fuck your mother if you don't fucking like it. So here we fucking go with my foul fucking mouth. It's like somebody took a piss in my mouth. So here we fucking go with another underrated movie reviews. And today I am going to talk about a science fiction movie. Now I'm not a big fan of prequels or prequel sequels or I'm not a fan of those genuinely. There's a few good ones here and there, and this is one that I feel that is a pretty good one overall. But it also, I can also understand why people hate this one, and there's some things that I hate about this as well. I'm not going to say I don't like it. I do. But that would be Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Okay, and I'm going to talk about Star Wars Revenge of the Sith right now. Excuse me. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. I saw this in theaters and I really liked it at first. I was about 19. So it was before my 20th birthday, like a month before. And I gotta say that, you know, as I got older and became an adult, my opinions changed about this a little bit. I'm going to talk about why I like it and what I hate about it. Now, for the most part, I review a lot of the movies I review, I pretty much love and adore, but this one has its flaws, actually. I will admit, this is not a perfect movie. But this is not a bad movie either. And I'm going to talk about why I like it. Okay, first off, Revenge of the Sith has a runtime of approximately 2 hours and 10 minutes. It came out in 2005. It's part of the prequel trilogy of Star Wars. Now, with the recent Star Wars that came out, I felt like this was suitable to review. And as far as the whole film series is concerned, I hated Phantom Menace. I hated Attack of the Clones because I felt like those had bad writing and bad direction, but way too much CGI. The story for those wasn't very good either. This actually has a pretty good storyline. This is the storyline I wanted all along in that fucking prequel trilogy. This is pretty much how Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader. This is basically about that. It's like, well, why didn't they do that from the fucking get-go? My other complaint about it is, why did they not show more Darth Vader? I felt like they should have tackled that from the get-go. Just have him start the movie off with him becoming Darth Vader, and then go from there. But instead, they didn't do that. Which it's basically him becoming Darth Vader. You don't get Darth. You only get like a minute, like 2 or 3 minutes of Darth Vader at the end of the movie, and I guess it gives you an idea of where it's going to go from there because you got New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. But another complaint I have is I felt like there, yet again, much with this, there is a bit too much CGI. So if I can say that there's anything I dislike about this, there's that. And I felt like Hayden Christensen's acting could have been better. I think a lot of people complain about his acting in Phantom Menace. It seems like his acting got a little bit better in this one, but still, he needed take some acting classes, and maybe the problem was, I think, that George Lucas doesn't know how to communicate with his actors and what performance he wants out of them. And I think when directing a film, and this is just a personal opinion, I think this goes for any directing. It doesn't matter if it's professional filmmaking or amateur filmmaking. I definitely have some say in amateur, maybe even professional for that matter. And I'm not Mr. Know-It-All. I don't know everything, but I think communicating with the actors is a very important thing to do when making a movie. You know, you want to give a good performance out of them, and you want their performance to be good, and you have to let them know if they're doing good or not, and they're giving their all. And if you don't communicate with them, they might not give a good performance, you know. And if they're doing a good performance or not, or you know, I'm the kind of person with my take on things. This is just my opinion. Is you have to communicate when making a movie with the actors on what kind of performance you want out of them. So if they give a performance that's not what it should be, you should say something. But you should also tell them, I'm the kind of person where it's like, if you don't think that you're doing a good job and you want to do the scene over again, you tell me and let me know. And I think he should have done all of that with the film, but he didn't. And that's why there's a few bad performances here and there. But overall, this is not a terrible movie. It's not a bad movie. I think it's a pretty good movie for what it is. It has its own merits. This is not the greatest movie ever made as far as prequels go, but if I can take the moment to talk about prequels, for the most part I hate most prequels. And there's a few that I've really enjoyed that have entertained me. I can definitely say that for Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. I could also say that for Hannibal Rising. Those prequels I really do enjoy. And I think they're probably the only ones I really enjoyed, thinking about it here and now. I thought the prequel for The Thing wasn't too bad either, because some years ago I did a rant about remakes. Horror remakes, it was mainly pertaining to the horror genre. I don't like horror remakes, but let me get on with this review and talk about the cast. The cast is Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, Hayden Christensen, Ian McDiarmid, and Samuel L. Jackson and Christopher Lee. And it's written and directed by George Lucas. And the plot is basically this is torn between loyalty to his mentor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the seductive powers of Sith. Anakin Skywalker ultimately turns his back on the Jedi, thus completing his journey to the dark side and his transformation into Darth Vader. That's basically what it's about. And this is a movie that I guess I had to reevaluate many, many times before finally saying, well, you know, if I had to pick what is the good one in that whole fucking prequel trilogy, well, it would be this one. And the ending of this is really incredible. It's got a great ending. I really do like the ending of it, I think, if anything. And the story, like I said, is pretty good. I feel like there could have been more Darth Vader, though. I felt like we could have got Darth Vader a little sooner in the movie and maybe had some stuff with him, but you know, basically this is a movie that I do feel like it's a movie that just kind of, like, I'm trying to think of a way to put my thoughts into it, as I feel like it's got a lot of mixed opinions, but this is just my own opinion, okay? I can understand why this is the one underrated movie that I feel that's underrated, where everybody like now everybody hates it, and it's like, make up your fucking minds. I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan. This is coming from a guy that's a Star Trek fan, but I'm a science fiction fanatic. So a lot of the movies I review in Underrated Movie Punk are mostly action movies, comic book based movies, science fiction movies, and horror movies. These are genres of film that I do enjoy, and basically based on my own personal preferences alone. To each their own, as they say. You can either like it, you can don't like it, or get the fuck out. You know, don't watch the videos. And basically, this is a movie that I'm glad that I saw it in theaters. Considering, I don't regret seeing this in theaters, not at all. And but it's a movie that I also can say, well, I know what the flaws are, and I acknowledge it. There's movies that to me that are perfect movies, and this is a movie that's not a perfect movie. It is flawed, but it's a movie that now just everybody hates. You know, Star Wars Force Awakens came out, and everybody hates all of them, this one included. And it's like, it's kind of like jumping on the fucking bandwagon. People, Americans piss me off with their take on film, because either they're gonna like the movie, and then they're gonna change their opinion about it. Oh, everybody hates it, so I hate it too. And I thought, I don't want to be one of those like that. the more I thought about this, I had it on DVD. I considered getting rid of it, and I'm actually glad that I didn't. Um, uh, you know, like I said, it's not the greatest movie ever. It does have its flaws, and this is the first time I've reviewed a movie that's underrated. While I admit that it has its flaws, like if it had a little bit of a better performance and less CGI and more practicality to it, I think I would like it even more. But it's a movie that I can still enjoy, and I feel that it holds up. And you know, it's just kind of interesting to see how Anakin became Darth Vader. You know, it's kind of, to me it's more of a guilty pleasure and a novelty in a way, because okay, I admit it's not the greatest Star Wars movie ever, but if you look at that whole film series as a science fiction film series, the best in the series is New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Force Awakens. And then it would be Revenge of the Sith. And then there would be, Revenge of the Sith too. You know, so that's like 5 in the series that I really enjoy. And when I got into science fiction, being a science fiction fanatic that I am, the stuff that turned me on to science fiction was Ghostbusters, Star Wars, and Planet of the Apes. The original Planet of the Apes from the 1960s, the first film in the series. That was where I started with my love of science fiction. You got to start somewhere, and I don't really know how to really go on about this movie and really like go into like a comprehensive, in-depth interview. Really, it's one of those that I just keep it short, sweet, and simple, and talk about why I love it and what do I don't like about it. This is one of the few underrated movies that I will admit that I will review that there's things about it that I don't like. But I do really feel that people need to stop shitting all over this movie. It's not the worst Star Wars movie ever. I think that goes to Phantom Menace and Phantom Menace, definitely. Attack of the Clones was okay, and this was a step above that. If I'm going to give it a star rating, I think I'll give it 3.5 stars. And it's like, it's a movie that I can watch and enjoy and not be bored with. Like I said, I don't think it's the greatest movie ever, but you know, I do like the characters. You know, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. They could say he's whiny and stuff, but I think that Hayden Christensen's performances is one of his better performances in this one, and I think it's because he's losing touch with who he is. I think it's mainly just how they wanted him to act, and what George Lucas wanted out of him, and basically they made special editions of these, and I have the full screen special edition, which I got given to me some years ago during the holidays, coincidentally, when I upgraded. Coincidentally, during 2005. You know, during some family Christmas deal years ago, like I said, this movie is a pretty good movie overall. For me, it's a movie that like I said, I don't consider it the greatest movie ever, but I'm not going to compare it to a bunch of other movies. I'm just going to compare it to the Star Wars film series because that's what it's part of, and. You know, my favorite to least favorite out of those 5, because obviously I hate Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. But my favorite to least favorite in this order would be Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Star Wars Force Awakens, Star Wars New Hope, and Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. In that order. It's kind of ascending and descending. But the 5 best in the film series are those 5 in my opinion, but ranking like favorite to least favorite out of those 5. But I have yet to own Force Awakens. I did really love that. I felt like that was way better than this. You know, because this is the last Star Wars movie that a lot of us sci-fi fans got. So that concludes my underrated review on Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. You know, you're willing to post your comments. Sci-Fi Geeks. Website I run on Facebook fan page. Post your comments on there. Post your comments on my Facebook channel. Please be respectful and tactful. No trolling. I'm not going to stand for that. I'm putting that out there. Anybody does that, your comments will be deleted, and you will be deleted from my Facebook channel, or not Facebook, excuse me. You'll be deleted from my YouTube channel, or you'll be deleted from Sci-Fi Geeks. So please be kind and polite. No trolling. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening or day or noon.